The New Orleans Saints and Arizona Cardinals are both 2-4 and meet on Thursday Night Football for a matchup of two teams looking to turn their season around. But let us know in the comments which of these two franchises is more likely to do just that. Matt, I'll toss it up to you, man. Are the Cardinals, are the Saints more likely to turn their season around for the better starting on Thursday night?
You know, I think it's the Saints. I think even though that this is a team that's kind of come out of their prime, you know, a few years ago, they definitely were true Super Bowl contenders.
Right.
They're still there. They still have the talent. And I think the biggest issue with them right now is they have a lot of injuries, in particular on the offensive side. I mean, You look Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Jarvis Landry.
Right.
Alvin Kamara's been a little banged up. Mark Ingram's been banged up. Obviously, they're on their second quarterback and Andy Dalton, and even he's questionable if you look at the injury report. So there's definitely been some issues with that. But they've shown stints of not just good defense, but good offense. And so I think with the weapons, I trust them to figure it out.
Okay. I disagree. I'm going to go with the quarterback. I'm going to go with the better quarterback in this scenario. Although Kyler Murray hasn't looked like a top 10-ish quarterback so far to begin this season, he certainly is that. And I expect him with a rival with the return of DeAndre Hopkins for Kyler to look like that once again. And obviously, the biggest issue for the Cardinals right now, aside from coaching, aside from Cliff Kingsbury being their head coach, is the fact that they just can't get out to good starts in games. The Arizona Cardinals average a league worst 4.8 first half points this season, dead last in the NFL. They've only scored 3 first quarter points this season, which is a massive issue, especially when you're somebody like Cliff Kingsbury is supposed to be an offensive-minded guy. You would think you'd be able to script out the first 15 plays or so and get something moving for your offense. But I just think the return of DeAndre Hopkins is going to be huge for this offense. And honestly, the Cardinals' defense has been pretty stout, aside from getting blown out in Week 1 and then, winning a close overtime game over the Raiders in Week 2. This Cardinals' defense hasn't even given up 20 points since Week 2.
But the thing is that, I mean, you look at it, I don't trust the Cardinals. This is a team that over the last few years has fallen apart at the middle of the season. The fact that they didn't even start the season good, that doesn't give me any more confidence.
But the question isn't who do you trust more. The question is who do you think is going to turn it around.
I have to trust them to think it might happen.
So you trust Jameis Winston in the crew?
I think that, honestly, Jameis might not be the quarterback coming back if Andy Dalton continues to be serviceable.
So you trust Andy Dalton then?
I trust him to get the ball to talented wide receivers and talented.
Like who? Michael Thomas has been out.
Chris Olave should be coming back.
Jarvis Landry is old.
Like I said, the injuries have been an issue. Yeah. But once they come back, it's going to be easy. And then they also have Taysom Hill, and you have Alvin Kamara. You have guys that if you give them the ball, it's going to take care of it. We've seen what happens when Kyler tries to take over and do everything. He can do it to an extent, but eventually he does need help. And unfortunately, that doesn't seem to happen with the Cardinals. And he's certainly, like you said, not getting it with Cliff. And I expect Cliff to lose more games than win more games this season. And he's already shown that.
Well, you're talking about the skill position. The Arizona Cardinals certainly have a better skill group than the New Orleans Saints. Even with the Saints having Alvin Kamara, I'm definitely taking DeAndre Hopkins, Rondale Moore, Zach Ertz over the Saints crew, with Michael Thomas being banged up, Jarvis Landry being simply old, and Chris Olave just being pretty much unproven.
Like you said, they're not scoring in the first half at all, so it's not like they're using those weapons anyway.
But that's without DeAndre Hopkins, who is going to return on Thursday night against the New Orleans Saints. We'll see how this offense looks with him back in the lineup. I expect it to improve. I'm sure you do as well. But this is another thing, too. Obviously, we're hard on Cliff Kingsbury, and I have to be forthright. I expected New Orleans Saints to be a very good team before the season started. I think I expected them to compete for the NFC South division crown. It doesn't look like that at this point, but we had to start looking at Dennis Allen. His record indicates, as an NFL head coach, that he's not a very good one. As you can see right here, here is his career record as an NFL head coach. It's not great. And through 6 weeks of this season, it's not looking great either. So if we want to look at Cliff Kingsbury, we're going to have to do the same thing for Dennis Allen.
I'm fine with looking at Dennis Allen, absolutely. But the thing is that Dennis Allen is still in his first year. This is a team and a roster that is improved and that it is good and has been good. Cliff Kingsbury has proven that you can't trust him to have a winning season, even with one of the better young quarterbacks in the NFL.
It's fair. Let us know in the comments who you think is more likely to turn around.
Get rid of Bird City. It's not worth it.
Start to this season. No, is it the Cardinals or is it the Saints? Let us know.
Hashtag Bird City now.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out our other videos and don't forget to smack that subscribe button down below while you're at it. Also, for more great and original content, head right over to bvmsports.com.